All right. So, new angle. I'm 16 years old. My last video I uploaded was 9 months ago, 2 days after I turned 16, and now I'm a few months away from turning 17 years old. I don't look much different. I mean, my hair's longer, but that's really it. I don't really know what to say, actually. I kind of just started recording this my second try, but I'm kind of on here just to say something, I guess. I kind of I always feel the need to say something online because I think my presence matters online and I think it makes a difference to the internet. And hold on, funny story. I was told by one of my friends that so basically I used to go to school with one of my friends when we were both in seventh grade and we lived in the same town, but I moved away. And he told me that everybody back home said they didn't like me basically because I had too high of an ego, which I'm not gonna deny it, but I'm not gonna exactly accept it just because I don't have a good reference of myself, I suppose. I mean, I never really thought of myself as a super egotistical person, but I guess nobody that is egotistical would. They'd think of themselves as great. But I think in like the last year, probably, I've kind of seen myself as like, I've kind of reflected. I've been reflecting a lot. The backlash for the whole persona, I don't even want to say it, Jiggy slingshot, the whole persona is like it's kind of dead, honestly. I it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to go out in public and people scream that out and try to play my music and I I can't blame them though. I can't blame anybody who does that because they're not me. They don't know how it makes me feel and it's kind of hard to blame your peers when in truth I'm the one that put it out there. You know what I mean? It's kind of my business what I put out onto the internet, and it's my responsibility to choose what I put out carefully. So that's why I'm keeping this channel. But realistically, I think Jiggy Slingshot's over. I haven't uploaded anything to the other channel or to this channel in many months, probably close to a year, because I'm just not really there anymore. I'm not really there right now. I don't think I've really ever been there because I was at one point in a place where I really didn't care about the public opinion, and maybe then my ego was really high, but I also didn't have a good reference of myself or even anybody around me or what they thought of me. And even if I did, it's likely I didn't care. So, going back to the story of being told how people think of me, about my high ego. If I do have a high ego, I'm kind of okay with that because I'm not hurting anybody when I do that. I could annoy people, sure, but I'm not gonna hurt anybody by having this super high ego. But what does affect me is putting something out on the internet and then people tell you about it. Now, in my defense, I did get the attention I wanted because you don't put something onto the internet and expect it not to be seen because there is a chance that if you make sure of it, it will be seen. But unfortunately, I just didn't attract the right crowd, which I guess is fine because that might have been my bad. It's definitely my bad. But it's like kind of on that subject where I don't know, my life is in a different direction from this whole thing. So I'm here today because I'm not going away. I'm definitely not going away. I have a laptop right next to me. I'm making music. I make beats like every day. But I have school. I'm almost 17 years old. I'm almost a grown man. I'm trying to drive. I'm trying to get my license. I'm almost 17 and I still don't have my license. How embarrassing is that? You know what I mean? But it's really fine because just the way my life is going is kind of up to me, and I'm kind of trying to put it in the right direction and not let this linger. I've been thinking a lot about it actually, like way more than I thought I would. Like you got to understand, I'm almost 17. I have a niece, I have a nephew. I've been through two breakups now. It's like there's a lot that goes into the life of a young man like myself. So it's kind of it's kind of give or take whether people like you or not. It also just depends a lot on your interests and your personality. And I feel like I'm a kind of eccentric. I'm probably no, I'm very eccentric. I have interests that differ from public opinion, or I guess positive public opinion, but you can't have negative attention. And not negative like bad attention, like negative like no attention. You can't have less than no attention. You can have no attention, but I got what I wanted. And I'm not really proud of it actually. I'm kind of sitting here today to tell you that it's over, but it's not all over because I'm still here. I'm still making music, and I'm kind of just talking to my phone right now because that webcam broke actually. It's actually it was a pretty shitty webcam. But I'm always on the edge of my seat when I speak because I'm kind of wondering what I'm going to say myself. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like anytime I open my mouth, it's a gamble for me as much as it is you. And I think I've tamed that a little. I think a bit more before I speak. And I also have my priorities shifted. That's the thing about living your life out there in the world is your priorities change a lot because of the things that you find matter more to you when you experience what you want, even a little bit. Like when I started driving more and I actually got the chance to drive, with like my mom or like anybody that I got to drive with, I started wanting to drive because I started realizing it was important and probably very vital to my adult life. So, for the sake of myself and probably my future self, I started driving more, started practicing, I started taking it seriously. And this was all before Jiggy C. This is just an example. But as my priorities change, so does my style and the way I dress or my music. And you can see in my last video, I was wearing a t-shirt, which is a very good indicator of how I used to dress. No jeans. I didn't wear anything that wasn't casual. And I didn't know how to dress then, which I feel like kind of defines a lot of who I was because I just didn't know. And the thing is, I'm making this video from a point where I think I know what I'm talking about, but I'm probably going to look back on this video the same way I look back on that video. The one from 9 months ago with 12 views where I update nobody on my life and about vinyls that an ex got me that I still have and I can't listen to because my shitty suitcase vinyl record player broke. And it's just like, I guess I'm kind of just here to put an end to it. If anybody cares, I guess, because I know there's still people that do. I'm almost a grown man, and I still get caught up on people telling me that in their own way, the thing I did, I shouldn't have done, which was putting myself out there in that way. And I don't blame them. It bugs me, sure, but it doesn't like stop me, I guess. It just kind of it made me think for a long time. And I've always kind of came to the same conclusion that I should have never done it. I should have never been in this era. So, if I ever do make it as like an artist, it's not going to be under this name. It's going to be under some other name and it's going to be forgotten completely and rid of this era, of this name. It's kind of gotten to the point where like I physically can't say it without just kind of cringing a little bit. Like I don't know, I made this name for myself when I was 14. I have so much tied to it that it's hard to get rid of. but I just can't stick with it. I just can't do it. Because I was in a completely different spot when I came up with the name, when I came up with the music I made under the name, and even in the beginning, because I just didn't know. You know what I mean? It's hard to know when to stop. So I guess I'm just kind of here to let you know, to let my phone know, the technological device I'm talking to, that it's over. And if anybody sees this, that was here for this phase of mine, and I guess cares, then it's over. It's pretty simple. But I'm fine with it. And I'm just kind of trying to live my life. But I never stopped liking music. I've never stopped making beats. Even through like a world-shattering breakup in November, I still made music through it. Granted, I don't think any of the music I make is good, but I think the best artists are their own critiques. But it's also kind of at a point where you realize you'll know you're great when you also become your own biggest fan, I guess, supporter, because I'm kind of at a point where I think a little more for myself and not just think with no filter. Because when you don't have a filter, you're not yourself. You're just a projection of an amalgamation. But when you start thinking for yourself, you start realizing your priorities and what really does matter, because it's all just a domino effect at the end of the day. It's all a butterfly cycle of this affects this, and it's cause and effect through the whole universe since the first parsec. So when you get to that point in your life when you reach the end, you can either turn around or you can just keep going to see what's past it. And I think me thinking about this and starting to kind of evolve in my own life made me realize that this wasn't the end, but it's the beginning. Thanks for watching.